Oh, how you doing? Time for another player profile and projection, and today we're talking about the shortstop, Gleyber Torres, coming into his 4th season with the Yankees. No more rookie, no more young, just a mainstay, Gleyber. Jake, how you doing?
James, Big Baby David, I'm good. Got into some of the numbers. Ooh. Coach Ball game ad. And yeah, man, Gleyber, there's one clear storyline that hope he squashes a bug early on this season. Otherwise, it's going to be a painful talking point throughout the season. So, referencing Gleyber's defense, but we'll get there. I think we got to do the whole thing. My man is a best shape of his life candidate this spring, so that's huge.
I think they refrained from that, and they just said he's in good shape.
They might have even thrown the word great in there.
I think there was a step above good. I don't know if they said best, but
the sentiment's there.
They said there was a change, and there was clearly shots across the bow from Cashman.
Great shape. They checked
shape.
in with Cressy, who said he is in great shape. I like that. I got to get my cynic brain out of Cressy. It's his job. He's a professional. He's like the best in the business. But what did he do? Like touch him all over?
Yeah.
Just glance him up and down?
Yeah.
How do you know right now until he starts playing and like doing things?
Turn around for me, boy. Fetch me my wine. Jim Gleyber Torres, the young star of the Yankees, people are saying.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't think he is. He was going that way. It was Judge Gleyber, right? That's so interesting. The shine is wore off a little bit. He can get it back. But I'm not saying that in a negative way. He was fantastic in the postseason last year.
I think the shine's worn off more for you than the average fan.
But I'm just saying, like, Clint came into his own. He's going to get a ton of love. Judge still gets love, right? Cole is now becoming the face of the Yankees as well, and he's going to be here forever. DJ just signed $100 million, and he becoming like a mainstay.
Yeah, I mean,
it was, and going into like the 2019 season, it was like Judge, Gleyber, face of the Yankees. I think there's more in the mix now. Yeah,
I'd come off of that a little bit. I mean, CeCe, like Cole just replaced CeCe in my head. Like that role was there, and now that's replaced. The Clint thing, I think that's a different level. He might still be battling for some playing time. This is the shortstop of the Yankees, Gleyber Torres, and man, so I mentioned I did some math, Jim Buck too, because in the regular season his hitting was a little meh. He finished it in 243 with a 724 OPS, 42 games. It's a small sample size, and he got better towards the end of the season. I combined his regular season and his postseason stats. He was a 270 batter with a 370 plus on base, which is, really good / more in line to where he should be. So
really, those 7 games, up it that much,
dude. He only played 42 games on it. That's where last season is such a mind f. Pardon my French. Because, dude, it was 42 games.
How'd you do all that math? That seems hard to do.
I went to batting average calculator, and I did the hits divided by the at-bats, and then I did plate appearances.
So you did all that?
Hits and walks. Yeah. It's like 3 math moves.
Yeah, but it's like 2 different tabs.
And it's a tab fest. I live in tabs, so you know that. You're with 2 tabbers right now.
Well, I use tabs as well.
We're tabby cats.
BBD has the most tabs I've ever seen a human use in my life. Yeah, like 2 windows full of 20 tabs.
He's king tabs. I tab pretty hard.
That's normal.
Okay.
When you can read the words of the tabs, you're healthy.
You've outdotted
BBD
the
only
tabs.
has logos top left.
Not healthy.
Yeah.
Okay. Tabby cat.
We're on the same page.
Yeah, you can't deny it. You got tabaholic.
I recently learned the grouping of tabs, which has helped, but
Okay.
That's huge.
Gleyber Torres is 24. You 23 or 24?
23.
Okay.
He's 6 months ahead of me.
Still got hope for BBD to be the shortstop of the Yankees. And Jim, it's kind of this this weird thing. So Glaber went ham last playoffs. You mentioned it. 7 games, small sample. He was 10 for 23, 2 homers, 435 batting average, a 1.2 OPS. And his playoff numbers up until this point of his career, he's in 21 games, a 342 batting average, a 1.037 OPS. So Glaber's been there when it counts, and that's where this whole thing circles back to his defense. Is this the last year of Gleyber Torres at shortstop, or do we have 5 more years of Gleyber
Where could he
Torres?
go? They locked DJ up. I mean, DJ would have to go to first or third, and something will have to happen with Voit or Gio. So I hope he's good at shortstop. I'm, spring training, land of eternal optimism. They saying he's coming in good shape. Said he was in bad shape last year. Everyone was. COVID, did weird things. I'm hoping. Now, can he ever be a plus defender at third? Like, do you think short? You can't become that. I feel like you can. There's other positions where you can grow in the MLB. You can start out kind of rusty at third and then become an above-average third baseman. Second, for sure, I think. First, definitely.
Yeah.
You can definitely learn once you get put there. Corner outfielders, maybe. There's a lot of instincts that go into the outfield. Short, I don't know. I think at best he's a serviceable shortstop with a big bat. And that's great. I'd love that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that gets tricky with shortstop is it's a sliding scale, right? Because all this stuff comes out about Jeter and how he was bad defensively, the worst defensive shortstop ever, but he hit enough, and he was good at the routine stuff enough that we didn't care at all. Mm-hmm. So I think Gleyber Torres has the arm. It's not arm strength. It's not anything with that. He can field. He just... we did the Talking Yanks bad taster reel, and it's a lot of puppy dog errors, and it's a lot of youth, and it's a little bit of chunk. Will his range ever be special? No. I do think there's a born with factor for shortstops. Could his range be respectable? Yeah. And I do think he's still 24. You log a couple more innings at shortstop, you do get better at the position.
Let's just get comfortable with balls being hit his way. That's step one.
Exactly.
Step one.
Probably the number one thing I've ever picked up from Billy Ripken from the MLB Network, was he said when there's a 2-hopper to short with 2 outs in the 7th and it's hit to your shortstop, do you exhale or do you stiffen up? And with Gleyber, we were stiffening up, man. The routine stuff needs to become routine. And he gets lackadaisical in the footwork sometime. You see it. He does it. A lot of the stuff he does, it's like you're playing in the backyard with your buddies trying to show off a little bit.
That little he side
little sachet.
Side sling.
Yeah, it's not there's a little bit of pizzazz on it. So interested to see him this spring and to see how that ties in. And what I would say to spin a little more optimistically, and this is again how I've glazed my brain over, is think about where we were at with Clint. We didn't think there was a chance Clint Frazier wasn't going to be an outfielder. Last year, he ends up in Gold Glove considerations. Now, corner outfield, easier than shortstop, and blah, blah, blah. Gleyber's younger than he was, and he has enough of the tools to be a good defensive shortstop.
Good.
It needs a lot.
I'm believing in him.
At the same time, I mean, we could be here in May kicking ourselves and like what do we do?
Just make the routine plays. That's what I ask.
Yeah.
We can see improvement.
Yeah.
Can see improvement. The bat's there. Last year he struggled with breaking balls a lot, Jake.
Ooh.
A lot. He had let me find the numbers on here to let you know. He's usually, and then Katie Sharp tuned us into this back in 2019, that Gleyber was kind of split-proof. Hit lefties good, hit righties good, hit home good, hit away good, hit breaking pitches good, hit fastballs good. Last year, he really struggled against breaking balls. He had a 162 batting average and a 189 slugging. Man, that's really, really, really low. And he had a 45% whiff rate, which is the highest whiff rate he's ever had against any pitch in his career for a season. He's never been in the 40s anywhere else. He had an 18% whiff rate on fastballs. So I don't know. Because Voit was a little bit of the same way. Whereas it like, hey, shortened season, these pitchers aren't going to be throwing that many off speed. Just hammer the fastball because you're going to be seeing it more. Like, was that and the more I look into these numbers more, I'm thinking maybe that was a thought process. But hopefully he goes back to handling all pitches the same. You know,
Yeah.
in 2019, he was pretty even across the board. Obviously, fastball's a little better, but that's normal.
The other thing here is the sample size and the weird year. You know, guys have routines and stuff they get into that, you know, I want to check the postseason log to see if Gleyber was hitting off speed stuff, because I think that very well could be the case. Spinning this back in a more positive light, Gleyber Torres' last full season, 2019, 22 years old. He hit 38 homers. He had an 871 OPS. And then reading through these numbers what we can, I do think something that jumps off the page. In 2019, Gleyber Torres had 48 walks and 129 strikeouts. Last year, 22 walks, 28 strikeouts. I mean, almost hand in hand. So maybe he was working on developing the eye more. Maybe he was trying to get better patience, find his pitch. I don't know. I don't know. I'm expecting big things from Gleyber this year. I think proper shots were sent across the bow from Cashman. I think the Lindor effect is possible now that we've got him in New York City getting a lot of the shortstop love. And maybe you're that extra shine you're talking about. It's Judge, it's Cole, it's a couple other of the guys around the Yankees.
I think it's good for him. Like, people might be interpreting how I was wrong. Like, the shine being off him, and it's not fully off him, I get that, but there are more shiny objects that Yankees fans are like. If you go around and
Luke Voit.
if you poll random Yankee fans on opening day, like outside, and say who are you most excited for, I think in 1920 Gleyber gets a lot of those answers, and I think now he's probably in the general mix between a ton of guys. And I think that's good for him. Like, let him do his thing. I think 4 out of 10 hits in the postseason came on fastball. 6 out of 10 came on off speed.
How about that? So
or breaking.
I wonder if that levels things out a little bit. But building on that, Jim, it's players listen. They've got rabbit ears. It ends up to them. If people were talking about you online, you find out. It gets back to you. And the conversation around Gleyber is the defense. So anytime Gleyber Torres has heard about himself on the Michael Kay show, or he's heard about himself on Talking Yanks, or he's read something on Twitter, it's not talking about him being a generational talent, a generational power hitting talent at shortstop. The conversation around him is, can he play shortstop? And man, I think the messages from Cashman and everyone got in his head. Interested to see what he looks like this spring. I'm bought all in. I think we're going to be building up for Gleyber Torres playing shortstop for the next 3 to 5 years. He's still 24, man. I think he's got all the talent. You know, he's got to learn how to flatline a little better. Mm-hmm. None of the puppy dog stuff. But he's there.
I'm going through all of his postseason hits.
Postseason hits with John Boy.
I do think he's there as well. He's more settled in now.
Yeah.
And all of the breaking pitches, there's a lot that were dribblers back to the pitcher that the pitcher misfielded and they gave it a hit.
Okay.
It's like 2 of the 4.
2 of the 6.
Yeah. I think there's one more. But it's still good. He seems like he had a different approach. He was impressive. All these hits are, a lot of the other hits on the fastballs are very impressive. And even Shane Bieber's knuckle curve.
Okay, I've got a weird question.
Yes.
Yankees in spring training. You know, we do a classic spring training doesn't matter, spring training does matter.
Mm-hmm.
Is Gleyber's defense the most important defense this spring?
No, Clint Frazier's is.
Really?
Yeah, he's going to be playing left field.
Okay.
And we'll do Clint Frazier's.
Do you think that's more important than Gleyber, though? I guess that's what I tie it back to.
Yeah, because Gleyber does not have Gardner breathing down his neck.
Okay. Interesting. I like that.
So, no. I still have that as the bigger defensive thing.
Okay.
I think they could, if Gleyber, all he needs to do is be average defensively.
Right.
Like, all he needs to be is steady on balls to him.
Yeah.
and the offense should speak for itself.
Yeah.
So I'm really not that worried. I think he's going to hit, and I think he's going to be fine. It's just postseason defense. You don't want to be where you're breathing heavy on ground balls to short in the postseason. For the regular season, he's not going to kill us.
Yeah.
Won a whole damn 103 games with Andujar, or 100 games with Andujar's defense at third base.
Yeah. It's
not going to kill us in the regular season. It's when we get to the postseason, how are we feeling then on balls, like slowly hit balls to short that he's got to run in and charge? That's the gut test right there. How are we feeling in the postseason? And that's when it's important. But regular season, no. Spring training, no. I think it'll be good enough. Fine.
All right. I like that.
I don't even need any flash either. I just don't want to stomach drop on balls to short in the ninth inning.
So
game.
if early on this season, April, May, we're seeing him look like last year, are you holding out hope that it improves by the postseason?
Yes. April,
Okay.
May.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll give him that.
Give me the brother, sister, June, July months, and then I'll start perking up.
Okay. What do you think?
It's cold in April.
It's cold in April sometimes. What do you think Max Manus gave us for an over-under?
Maybe it's something defensively based.
It is.
Errors.
Yeah, he put a little Talking Yanks flair on it.
All right.
So we can decide how we want to do this. He said 12.5 sad puppy dog shortstop errors.
Ooh.
So that would be two.
It doesn't have to be a literal error, but like you did.
Well, all of his errors are sad puppy dog errors, unless we see a maturity in his response to
Yeah.
errors, which I would love.
Yeah.
Maybe that's like a good thing. Like when he does make an error, maybe we don't see sad puppy.
Yeah, that's
like
what
you
I was
said,
saying. Flatline.
He's not young anymore.
Still young.
Not that young. Not special young anymore.
Right.
When he was 21 years old.
Yes.
That's
I agree with you there.
he's, come look at this. There's a lot of 24-year-olds in baseball.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the under. Optimistic under on that.
I mean, if it's a full season at shortstop, you're kind of going to make that many errors. So I will keep it in the sad puppy dog label.
12? That's a lot.
I mean,
I think like 15 usually leads the position. Like 15 to 20.
in 2019 at shortstop and second base, he combined for 20 errors, and that was 140 games. Like, if you play a full season at shortstop, you're going to make more errors than that.
I think the league leaders in errors is always around 15. I think a 10 or above is a lot. Not average.
I'd have to get into errors analytics, and I don't have those in front of me.
Okay. Do you have them, BBD?
I don't have like the exact numbers you're looking for, but like Matt Chapman had 20 errors in 2018.
Like
And I don't think
Andrelton Simmons in 2017 had 14 errors. And he's like the god of defensive shortstops.
How many did Tim Anderson have in like 2018?
Tim Anderson. I just brought up Marcus Semien.
Because Anderson led the league like 3 years in a row at shortstop in errors.
I know a big part of errors is like if you have good range, you're going to get to more balls and have
28-20. Okay, so
errors.
I'm a little low on it. Okay, take it back.
It's okay.
I just thought, 28-20. So
Marcus
far off.
Marcus Semien's May years were 2021.
I am taking the under on the sad puppy dog because I don't want him to do so. I don't want him to be so
I'm
sad
with
on
you.
the field.
And
If it's just straight up errors, I'll take the over.
you want the errors to be not loss of concentration. You want it to be Glaber gets one in the hole, someone's running fast, and he throws it away a little bit.
And they advance to second.
That's baseball.
Susan,
Like when he does just a little boot, or he does the sachet throw. Now I'm Mad Dog. I don't know, Glaber. I believe, man. I believe in our formerly prodigious shortstop that's hitting numbers.
we have high
at a crazy
reliability.
rate.
High reliability on the Baseball Reference projections. 80% reliability.
Wow.
They think his offensive numbers will be a 268 batting average, a 344 on base percentage, .483 slugging, .827 OPS, 23 home runs. That's pretty good.
Yeah, man.
At the shortstop position, it's pretty good offensive numbers.
I think I've got those low. I'll be honest with you.
I like those. But if you had those, you wouldn't be upset.
No, I mean, it matters the games played there. Like, that has 422 at bats. In 2018, he had 431, and that was 123 games. So there's some. If his OPS lands at 827, like, I think I'd be okay with that. I'd have to see what it looks like. I think he's got more in the bag than that, man. 2019, his OPS was 871.
Okay. I mean, it's still not bad, though.
No, I still, Gleyber Torres' expectations I still have as the kid who came up and was a top 5 prospect, and he hit 38 homers in 2019. It's nuts.
That is pretty nuts.
That's nuts. Like, I guess that's what I'm saying. This projection has him hitting 23 home runs. That's a significant drop from 38.
I think in 2019, if my research is right, Trevor Story led shortstops with an OPS of 917.
Okay.
So if he has 850 or above,
It's good.
that's really good. And I'm rooting for it.
Yeah.
80% reliability. That's high.
High.
Well, there you go. That's Gleyber Torres. In the end,
Gleyber.
we like him and we think he'll be good.
Yeah. I'm borderline coming up on hot takes with Gleyber.
Do you think he's going to be amazing?
Like, I think there's a good chance he's the highest MVP vote-getting Yankee.
Whoa, that is hot.
It's hot.
That is hot. That's hot. That's hot, man.
It's pretty hot.
That's pretty hot.
Well, it's Judge, but Judge has
DJ
the health
exists.
stuff. DJ. I kind of forgot about DJ.
You forgot about DJ?
Yeah.
Because that's the hottest part about it.
Big year, Gleyber. You owe me one.